wanna go outside to chill with Jen from the south side. That other niggas wasting my time. With fly, got me fucking shit up. Yeah, I just wanna go outside to chill with Jen from the south side. Yeah, there are a lot of niggas.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Chris Hendricks, and I'm back with another video. So today we'll be looking at setups for the week and going to our watch list. The first chart that we have is Canadian dollar against New Zealand dollar. So today's Monday, so I'm gonna go to the daily time frame and see what we have. So what you should do is focus on the current market. You shouldn't go behind too much. So we're gonna draw a structure, spot a structure just like that. Right after spotting our structure, we can go ahead and draw our levels or zones, the significant ones only. So we're just gonna get the support or the lowest low and the highest low, which is the resistance, just like that. And then, as you can see with our structure on the daily, we had a breakout at this level here. The price broke out, it created a correction. As you can see, it went sideways where it broke out. It formed a flag to the upside, a small one for a short-term buy. But then if you look at the bigger picture, you can see that we're having another structure here, just as so. That's our support, this is our resistance. So with our structure here on the current price, let me just take that away. As you can see with our structure, we are still forming the 1, 2, 3 movement. This is going to be our third touch, so we're basically waiting for the third touch on our support to go to the upside, just like that. So with that said, we have our direction, which is bearish to this zone here, and that's when we'll be looking for buys. So let's scale it down to the 4-hour time frame and see what we have. As you can see from our resistance here, or our highest high, we had a significant rejection and impulse to the downside, and every single impulse right after there's a correction, which is a continuation of the market. So we have our continuation there, or our correction. So with this spotted out, we can try to identify the 1, 2, 3 touch structure. To do that, we should scale it down to the 1-hour time frame. So as you can see, the price has so many gaps. The price had a gap here, 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 here as well. This one was a huge gap. As you can see, the price went down to this point, and from here till here, this is a gap. So for us to not get confused by these gaps, we can use the line graph to see everything clearly. I'll just fix my trend lines. And as you can see on the trend line, the price only touched twice. This was our first touch, and we have our second touch right here. So, which means we are anticipating the third touch on a resistance for us to go to the downside. We can go back to candlesticks. So that's the direction we're waiting for. And to illustrate this, I'll just use the buzz pattern. Let me just get a good price. And yeah, I'll use this. Okay. Okay, let me just flip it. No, let's mirror. Yeah. So we're waiting for a price to buy till our resistance, so we can go short, but only till this zone here, and that will be our trade for Canadian dollar against New Zealand dollar. And moving on to our second pair, which is USD Jpy. We're gonna go up till the daily to spot our structure. So with this one, we can zoom it out further, and it's a huge structure. So you can go ahead and go to the weekly to see everything clearly, but then I'm just gonna work from the daily. So we had something like this descending structure, and how I can validate my structure is by how the price was moving within the structure. So let's just go to where the price broke out our descending structure, which is around these areas here. And as you can see, the price corrected by our resistance, this resistance. So the price corrected around these areas, which means it was a significant zone, because it took a while to break out of our descending structure here. So this flag here, or this structure, it confirms that these descending structure, the price was gonna eventually break out to the upside, and which it did, right? So you can see after our correction here, we had a huge impulse to the upside, and then another correction formed. So that is our direction for USD Jpy, which is bullish. So right now at the current market, we have a similar structure to the previous one, which is a descending structure, right? We had something like this. Okay, I'll fix my touches a bit later. And within the structure, we had this one here, which had a breakout and a retest. Breakout, retest, and it bought, right? So I'm just gonna do that and scale it down to the 4-hour time frame. And when you scale it down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see the same thing is happening there as well. Okay, let's work with 2 hour. we can see we have another correction after an impulse. So first thing, I'm gonna have a support there and a resistance, and the structure within. And as you can see with this one, we have a significant zone here where the price is just respecting by rejecting every time it hits it. So right now we are heading to the downside to our support. Reason being is because of the 1 2 3 structure or movement. Let me just illustrate. So we had our first touch, right, and the price bought. We're having our second touch, price bought, and now we are anticipating the third one, which is the third touch with the highest probability. So this is where we're gonna buy, right? Just like that. So this is what we're waiting for with USD Jpy. Just like that. So it's just a matter of waiting here. This is it's a long-term trade. It's not a short one. So the take profit will vary according to levels from the previous market and stuff. But for now, let's just work with this. This is our setup for USD Jpy. Moving on to our third setup, which is USD USD, or New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. So we're gonna go to the daily, and let me just zoom out. So you can see it's almost similar to the previous chart. We had this descending structure, and we had a breakout, a correction, impulse, a correction. So we can start from by just drawing our zones. So I'm gonna work with the highest high, and just ignore drawing the lowest low, because the price is not heading there, it's going up. So going to the current market, let me just maximize my screen. So the current market, we are having this correction here, this bullish correction. So we're just gonna draw support and resistance level for trend line, just like that, right? This is New Zealand against America. We have a few touches on our support here, right? We can count this one as a touch, the first one, second one, and the third one, yeah. And this is supported by patterns within our structure. As you can see, we had this inverse head and shoulders here. We had that, right? So this confirmed our structure that this thing is bullish, this thing is going to buy. So currently we are having a breakout here and a very, very attractive flag or correction, right? This is easy. This is easy stuff to spot out. So we have our flag here, right? Resistance and support, right? So resistance and support. So I'm just gonna go to the 1 hour time frame, because that's the sweet time frame compared to the 2 hour time frame and 3 hour time frame. So with this one, we are, let me just adjust my trend lines, right? Let me just adjust them. So right here we are having a choppy market. It's going sideways a lot with out a direction, right? So we're just gonna quickly reference with the line graph. So here we're going to try to spot the 1 to 3 structure or pattern. So if you can see the 1 to 3 structure within these kind of markets, you are gonna be well off. So I see something like this, right? This is gonna be our third touch to the upside. So this whole thing here, this whole weird movement of the price is considered as one thing. It's one touch right here, right? And this is the second touch, and we're waiting for this one. That's the one we're anticipating for, right? And I usually use the line graph because everything is clear. The candlesticks are so too many, and they can end up confusing you and stuff because everything is just right in your face. The colors and wicks, pins, so it's sometimes safe to reference with that line graph. But going back to the candlestick, so right now we are just waiting for the market to push down a few pips to our support, so we can go long for this one. So that is what we are waiting on with New Zealand against America, right? So that is NSD USD. Moving on to our fourth price. So this is British pound against the USD. With this one, once again, we're just gonna start from the daily because we're already within the trading week, right? So with this one, I'm not gonna do too much. I'm just gonna start by looking at the current price, because if you just zoom out that much, you're gonna end up confusing yourself. Sorry. So okay, let me maximize my screen. So we are having this kind of movement, right? It's a descending structure, right? Which means eventually there's gonna be a breakout for a buy. So, or I can just do this. I can simply just draw like that, right? let me see something. Okay, no, I'll work with this. So right now we are within this descending structure, and we don't have enough confirmation to confirm where we could be going right now, because there's several possibilities. This is the first one. We might have an inverse head and shoulders, right? We might have that, but then that is simply just too easy for the market to give you an opportunity like that. So, or we could have something like this, where at the head and shoulders, or this significant zone here for head and shoulder, the market might play out like it's trying to form a head and shoulders, but it only forms buys a bit to trick people into thinking, oh no, this is a confirmed head and shoulders, let's buy, to actually just do this and drop again, right? Just to form a descending structure here as well, where the market is eventually gonna break out and then buy. And within this descending structure, it's also gonna have that 1, 2, 3 formation. So that's the second possibility. Let me just see if I can generate the third opportunity or possibility. So just give me a moment while I try to clear this. Okay. So the third possibility is that, okay, no, let me leave that one. So the third possibility is that the price can, from where it's at, it can form a flag right here. So it's gonna have the 1, 2, 3 structure, right? And just buy from this point. So we have mixed signals right now. So with this one, with GBP USD, it's just a matter of waiting for the market to tell you where or what's going on, so that you can be safe than sorry. And yeah, we'll just give this one a bit of time so it can play out, and we'll take it from there. So that was GBP USD. Moving on to USD Jpy. We're gonna start this one from the daily as well. Everything is from the daily except indices. So we have a similar structure to the ones we did before. We had a descending structure here, and within the descending structure we had a breakout. Let me just extend it a bit so you can see, maximize my screen and stretch out my chart. So with this one, we had a breakout right here, and you can see it was a correction, and we had this correction here. We had a breakout, and right now the current market, we are having another correction. So let's draw our support and just look at the momentum of this. Look at the momentum from the third touch. This was the third touch, remember, from our big structure. So third touch, huge momentum, huge momentum. So right now we are waiting or anticipating that kind of momentum next. So we have our price here, and this one is it's rather mixed as well. I don't know if I can stretch it out like this and use this as my first touch or not. Okay, let me just use let me draw the resistance first. Okay, so we only have 2 touches on top, right? Which is this one and this one, which means the price is moving like this. Just like that. I'm saying this because this will help us to spot our first touch. So this was our first touch and not this. So let me just remove this. With that said, the price should go down till this support, sorry. So drawing the direction helped me figure out where the price is going right now short term. So the price short term should go short to our support here. So we're just gonna wait for the market to play out while we wait. So let me just draw my illustration. So we're gonna take the previous market to illustrate how the market is gonna end up going. So we have something like this. Okay, my Zoom meeting is having problems. Actually, it's so slow. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. I think it's my Wi-Fi connection because I'm hotspotting my laptop. So we are anticipating something like this: first touch, second touch, third touch, buy, right? So that is what we want. So that is USD Jpy. This should take a while, maybe give it another day or so for it to reach our support. So we can go long with this one. Just like that. Hopefully it plays out and soon. So that was USD Jpy. Moving on to British pound against Japanese yen. So we're gonna start from the daily. Let's have a look. So this is what we have. I'm gonna draw my support or my lowest low and the highest highs. So within this channel, we kind of had a we kind of had something like this, a descending structure. It's actually weird how all the currencies I've analyzed are moving very similar to each other. So this is what we have right now with British pound against Japanese yen. So let me just fix my chart ratio. So right now we have weird movement on our highest highs or significant resistance zone here. It's rejecting aggressively to the downside, as you can see. Let me just zoom in and see what's happening here. So we had this engulfing candlestick, bearish candlestick, following with another huge bearish candlestick. So down inside, back inside our channel here, within the lowest low and the highest high. So that's our channel. So it broke out our channel. It then dipped back in, retested. Now it's going back in. So we are going short. I don't know for how long. I don't know how long we could be selling for, because I saw a similar setup like this, right? It basically formed a double top. So this the first top, second top, right? It formed a double top and the price sold off aggressively, like till, let me just use the measuring tool. So it sold by that much. That is like 16%. So that's just ridiculous. That's huge. So we could be seeing something similar to that, which is a double top, first top here, and then our second top here. So we could be seeing something like that, and that's okay. That's actually what I'm in favor of. So if the market does move the way I'm predicting it, then let's just dive in to spot out the entry opportunity. So I'm gonna draw my support for this structure and go to the 4-hour time frame and see what's happening with 4-hour time frame. And you can see the price is just moving almost sideways, but then in a descending formation. So what we could have used was this flag here, because if I can go to the 1-hour time frame and show you that we just missed the first opportunity to sell this pair. So let me just do this. So around these areas, let me just highlight. So within this gray area, we can see that we had this flag, this beautiful flag here. It had everything. Let me just go in more. Let me delete this shade. So you can see we had we had this great flag here. So we had first touch, our first touch here, second touch, and third for a sell. So you could have sold right here. We just missed this one, but then it's not the end of the world. This is literally the first. This is the first one, the first opportunity. So right now we are forming something similar to what we just missed. So you can see, let me just draw my trend line. So we are having this. It broke out. It broke out this flag here, the previous bigger flag. This is the support that it broke. It broke right here, and right now it's retesting by forming another flag or correction, which is great news for us, because that will give us another opportunity to enter. So right now we're just waiting for the market to complete this flag, so we can take our trade. Let me just illustrate how it's gonna move. So we're just waiting for the market to buy, and for our third touch here. So this is our first touch, second touch, third touch. So we're gonna enter the third touch and sell it. But that's if it forms, or if it gives us the third touch, because it might just start selling off from where it's at right now. It can just break out this support retest and go down. But then if that's the case, we're gonna take the retest and sell it. But then that is not in favor of my setup. But then if it comes to that, we are taking the risk. So this is our setup, and I believe in this one because it looks clean, it looks nice, and very simple. So I'm just hoping the price pushes up a few pips to form some kind of double top here at the third touch of our small flag, after the previous breakout and retest. So we're gonna take this one and go to the downside. Let me just scale back up to see the take profit. So we are working with a lot of space here. So this is where we're gonna take our trade. This is the amount of area that the price has to cover. So this is a huge trade, but then obviously the market won't just go straight down. It's gonna go down, right? And then it's gonna correct. Let me just illustrate how it can possibly move. So it can go down and then just corrects for the next week or so, and then huge impulse, same thing for another week, impulse. So this whole thing, this could happen in a month or even more, right? So this is a huge setup, but then we're not gonna hold for that long. That is not the goal here. the goal is to even secure a few pips in the smaller time frames, like 15 minutes or so, because we're gonna be using margins here. Just scale up your lots and have a very short trade, but then with nice returns. So that is great British pound against Japanese yen. We're going short for this one. Hopefully in the next 30 minutes. And I hope I've posted this video by then. Moving on to Gbp Chf. Let me see what we have here. Okay, let me just delete what I drew earlier, because I just discovered this one. It was not on my watch list. I just saw it and right before I started recording this video, so I quickly analyzed it and to see if I'm not just wasting time on weird setup. So it's given us the same nature as the other pound, British pound pairs. You can see here we have a correction right after an impulse, right? Impulse, correction. Even here we had, from this point, this was a huge impulse, and then we had a correction, impulse, correction. So we need an impulse to the upside. So let me just start from the 4-hour time frame, since I know the direction, which is bullish. So we're gonna draw our trend lines, sorry. So just like that, and as you can see, we are having nice touches on this trend line. So we first had this touch here as our first touch, and then these two count as the same touch if you like, but then it's whatever you can say. This one is the second one, third, and then fourth, or just reduce the trend line and have a nice 1 to 3 structure, just like that. So right now we are at the third touch of our structure, and we should be having nice rejections at this point. So with this one, it's also a matter of the waiting game. We're gonna need a significant impulse or rejection to the upside, and we're gonna wait for something like this to form. Remember, right after the impulse, we need a correction for us to have our trade, right? So we are gonna be waiting a while with this pair, because this is the 4-hour time frame, right? And the rejection has to be so significant. It has to be you see this much. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candlesticks, 4-hour candlesticks. So it's gonna be ready within maybe 4 days. Yeah, I could say a week or so, a trading week. So I don't have to do much with this one because everything is just so laid out. So this is British pound against Swiss franc. It's bullish. It's looking bullish with our descending structure, with the 1, 2, 3 touches. So moving on to indices. We're gonna have a look at Nasdaq first. So with Nasdaq, we don't need to go to the daily because structures with indices get so complicated that a structure that you see might be totally a trap to trick you guys. And so with Nasdaq, it's not advisable to draw huge structures and stuff. With Nasdaq, I usually just go to small time frames and see if I can spot highest highs and lowest lows, and then trade flags or corrections within those channels. So with Nasdaq, we can start off with our lowest low using the horizontal ray. So we have that right now, and the previous high was that one. So you can see the current market had a breakout out of that from the highest high. It broke out, and right now it's having a correction, right? So we're gonna go to 15 minutes and see what's happening. So with 15 minutes, we have so much going on. Actually, we kind of had this double bottom here. People using ICT probably saw this double bottom and they bought right here and made quite a lot. So but then I see a structure. I see this flag right here. I see this is what I see without using zones and stuff, just simple trend lines. So this is what I'm looking at right now. This is gonna count as my first touch, second touch, third touch. So I also could have bought here by the fact that this was my third touch from this flag, because this was going to be the first touch, second touch, third touch. And the double bottom, this one here, could have been confluence to my flag and 1, 2, 3 touch pattern. So I could have had something like this, placing my trade right here after 2 bullish candlesticks close. So which means after 2 bullish candlesticks close, which means this is the first candlestick that I was gonna wait for confirmation. And as you can see, this is a what do you call this? It's almost a doji or a morning star candlestick. So we had this one bullish and this one bullish as well, so which means I would have had enough confirmation to bet on the next candlestick. And as you can see, the price went up and never went down from that candlestick, the third candlestick, which I usually place my trade on. I wait for the third one and I enter when the second one closes so that I can ride the price from the third one. And I do this with 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and but in some cases I can use 2 hours. So I use that as my final confluence to open a trade. So right now the price is kind of having correction again from that impulse. So we're gonna go to 5 minutes, and remember with indices you can use time frames till up to like 5 minutes and still get your trades right. So we have something like this right now, and hopefully if the price, hold on, there's more confluence here. So we had this, there's this zone here which I think is significant because we had these 2 rejections here. The price went through this zone and rejected on it twice. Retest, first retest, second retest, went back down, and then when it came back it turned or rejected at the same zone. It went down, came back up, and the same thing happened right before it broke out. So this could be a retest for this breakout on this significant zone or possible significant zone. And if you can stretch it to the previous market, you can see it's still significant. There's this retest here, retest or rejection, a bunch of retest, and this is a flag of correction. So this zone could be something here. With that said, the price could just go long from here, but then it's not given, it's not a given fact, but if it does go like that, it would be great. But then to be more accurate, we can just wait for the price to break out, retest, and then just place our trades on the safe side, because that retest would be enough confluence for us to buy. And just to contradict this setup, the price can also actually sell from this point. It can break this zone again and retest on it and then sell just like that. But then if that's the case, we're just gonna wait for the retest and ride the retest just like that. So with Nasdaq right now, it's just a matter of waiting for the market to present itself to us, because you never want to predict the market by like being one-sided and stuff. You need to vary your possibilities and stuff. So that is Nasdaq or NAS100. So that one we need to wait for more information. And the last pair we are gonna be looking at an index once again, but this one is US30. So same concept. We are just gonna scale it down to the hour time frame. And US30 with Nasdaq, they kind of move the same, but then they don't move at the same time. So one could be ahead and one could be behind and stuff. So but then overall they go to the similar, they head to similar directions. So with this one, I'm just gonna jump straight to the M15 and see what's happening. So we kind of have the same thing here with a correction, and with this correction we have, let's use the line graph because here we have a gap. For us to see what's happening in that gap, we need to use the line graph reference with the line graph. So right now we can see that the price just had a momentum to the upside, so which means our first touch is this one. This is our first touch or our flag, our second touch, and we're waiting on the third one so that we can buy Nasdaq if it is buying. But let me just use the bus pattern to illustrate. So we could be looking at something like this, and we are gonna go long, but then not for too long. We are gonna have a take profit right here, and that is US30 in favor of a buy because of, you know, those certain conditions of the market going up. But then once again need to contradict ourselves, because with indices anything can happen. It's a different ball game compared to currency. So I also see this head and shoulders, so this can also happen, but then it's less likely to happen, right? But then it can happen. It's a possibility, and I'm not gonna ignore the fact that this could happen. So these are the two possibilities, just like Nasdaq. But then you need to wait for the market to present itself. Right now, if it was to sell, right, I would wait for a breakout at this support and a retest. Then I would definitely take the retest to the downside, just like that, because that would be a safe bet. There would be enough confluence with if that was the case. So that is US30, and it was our last pair. So I hope, but then I'm in favor of the buy with this one, not the sell, not the head and shoulders, because there was this momentum to the upside right here. From this point here, we had this huge momentum to the upside, which is an impulse, so following by a correction, and every time after an impulse and a correction, there's another impulse. So we are definitely in favor of the market going up instead of going down, because that would be like super confusing for us. So that is it for the week, and I hope you guys subscribe, like the video, improve the YouTube algorithm and push the notification button so we can post more videos, more content for you guys to learn and help you guys through your trading career. So that is it. That was MBA.
I just wanna go outside to chill with Johnny from the south side. That little niggas wasting my time. With fly, gon' fucking shit up. Yeah, I just wanna go outside